Aquarius, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. It's a, I have to say, it's a beautiful week. It's just not the easiest week. A lot of changes are happening through relationships. And what I mean by that is meeting somebody else and allowing them to occupy a special place in your heart is transforming people. Not so much in a romantic way, but in a realistic way. In a way that says, I want my life to change, so I have to change the people I'm around. And this plays big time into Aquarian energy, because Aquarian energy is all about community. It's all about doing right by everybody, right? Or by the most of the people. But who are these people? And are they really deserving of your energy? And when is the time when you have a right to say, I'm wasting my fucking energy on you and I'm not doing it anymore? And that's really what I think is going to be forefront on your mind right now. Who am I really? And who do I want to be? What do I really admire? And how do I get around people who will feed and nurture that, as opposed to people who will drain that? And how do I give myself permission to be okay with walking away from things that make me feel maybe I'm losing my own integrity because I made promises or I made commitments, etc., etc. And of course, there's different levels and different degrees of this energy, because different commitments are, some are stronger, some are legal, so it's not so easy to walk away from things. But it is going to be very easy this week to see where changes have to be made. Now, I am an astrologer. My name is Michelle. This is Born Without Boundaries Tarot, my channel. I am also an intuitive empath, and that's how I heal. I take insights that I get from astrology and channeling, and I give them to you to empower you to heal and help out in any way in your own life. A lot of changes have happened. Mercury was in Aquarius and it retrograded back into Capricorn. So there is a sense of, it can't be all about everybody else. It has to in part be about me and just getting shit done. And maybe ways that I messed up in the past and how I wasn't maybe strict enough with myself or didn't maintain my standards high enough. And all of these will be repeating themes that are going to start really coming to the forefront of all situations in your life. Mars entered Capricorn, which has a very draconian way of just insisting on almost like quality control. Not just quality control, but also a sense of almost a sense of energizing that Saturnian demand for people to have to work hard and people to have to earn things. So let's see how this impacts the cards for you. Aquarius, 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 not talking very much. Time to collaborate. With who? It's time to work with somebody. It's time to open up your capabilities by partnering with somebody who has different capabilities than you. Now, this shouldn't come as any surprise to you or should not be difficult for you at all. Collaboration is in who you are. Why is it the singular thing on your mind? Why is it number one? That's what I'm wondering. How time to collaborate? Time to collaborate what? Time to collaborate what? Time to collaborate what? Transformation is beautiful. So you're transforming your relationships, or you're transforming through relationships. There could also be literally time to collaborate with a Scorpio, because that's what this is. But look at how the numbers have aligned. 1, 1, 1. This is divinely guided. And what I'm feeling when I look at the cards is you're finally ready. You're finally ready. And it's a leap of faith, but you're finally ready to take the leap of faith. You're not being pushed into this. In fact, I think the universe very much now is requiring that you come willingly, that there is some sort of background energy or effort coming from you, you know, that's motivating all the actions and all the changes, because that's part of the lesson now. Taking those steps, taking those first steps. Time to collaborate. Transformation is beautiful. Oh my God. Life in apartment complex is so crazy. Sing your own song. Interesting. And see the big picture. Well, sing your own song, I'm certain about. And ultimately, this second chance, this new collaboration, it's got to be a sincere one. It can't be one that is fundamentally based in falling in love with, or having somebody fall in love with an idea. It has to be based in a reality, in falling in love with, or partnering with a reality. See the big picture is Taurus energy. A sense of, how do I fit in with the big everything? And that is your common question. But ultimately, I think that you, at this point, don't want to fit in anywhere that you don't actually fit in. And that means allowing yourself to be yourself out loud. There is a partnership. There could even have been some nefarious things that were hidden within this partnership. It doesn't have to be romance, remember. And a sense of, maybe that's actually coming out, and that's actually being seen, or somebody's actually calling that out, especially if it's got to do with something with financials. So ultimately, there's a sense of wanting to rid yourself of it by being honest about it. It could also be a sense of whistleblowing. Now, I don't know how that plays in with you, if it's you or somebody else, but there's just a sense of, maybe I'm using, because whistleblowing has a bad connotation. I need to speak up about something because I see it. I can see it, and I can see what it's going to be doing to the future. And ultimately, it's got something to do with a partnership that could very well have been, there's some seedy points or parts to it. And now, as I do this reading, the moon is in Scorpio. And that will uncover things psychically. That will sort of start the rumbling almost underground, like an earthquake. It'll start making the ground shake, even if we don't know where it comes from yet. But something is becoming apparent to the eyes. That was really just a rumble underneath. So whatever scenario you're relating to, it will shock you, even though in some ways you knew about it. This sing your own song and see the big picture is, it's finally coming out. for most people to see. This could be an announcement, or it could just be your unrelenting commitment to, from this point on, never compromise who you are. Time to let go. Groundhog spirit. In the past, you held on to this. This was something that broke your heart for a while. Something that's been nagging at you. Something that hasn't sat right inside of you. And it could have to do with somebody that you were with, right? A sense of always trying to justify their behavior or their actions, or looking the other way too long. Koala spirit has a plan. So ultimately this feeling of knowing that even though other people aren't watching, God is. And that wrestling with the conscious is starting to get to you. Spirit has a plan. It's almost like you can feel the comeuppance coming, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of it. Especially since morally, you've wanted to say something or do something for a while. And ultimately, it just feels like no matter how inconvenient it is, now is that while. Now is that time. You could be getting a call from somebody. A call from somebody, or hear something somebody says something. Information comes into you that feels good because it's aligned with your truth, and it helps you realize why you're taking action. We have bee spirit. Sweet results await. Beautiful. And then we have time for a beginner mind. That's Aquarius energy. So this is all an Aquarius season, your season. Happy birthday, by the way, guys. And be peace. Things leveling out and starting to balance. So things are going to start leveling out and start to balance out. I think that there's just this sweet reward for being who you really are. And that will come instantaneously. But ultimately, time for a beginner mind, and sweet results await. Speak to a fresh start. Perhaps finally being able to let go of something you held on to for way too long. But what was that? What was that? What was that? Aquarius. God, you are really like keeping secrets from me. I don't know why. We have shadow here. So it was definitely something that you were ashamed of or tried to keep hidden. And what was that? Triumph comes out. Triumph comes out. And then we have triumphant success in reverse. This actually could be a lot of pain and a lot of destruction. Emotional withdrawal, shutting you down, completely shutting down. We have conflict and defeat. All in reverse. I have to tell you, this is guilt. This is a situation won through betrayal. This is somebody stabbing somebody in the back and getting away with it. And yeah, this is somebody stealing this stuff. Yeah. And locking it away almost in another personality and saying, and like not acknowledging that they have the capability or the ability to do this. Who is this? Who is this? No, take this. Who is this? And it could be somebody that you were in a relationship with, or... And that even if they treated you good, so you turn the other cheek, right? It's sitting, it's weighing heavy on your mind. So the success that you won, it was only half won. It was only half felt, because There was guilt. There was something that was eating away at you. What do they do? This is a little bit worrisome. Chaos and conflict. Time to take a nap. You need a rest from all this chaos, from all this craziness. You're tired of it. You want to withdraw a little bit. The thing is this, the chaos is inside of you. It's always going to follow you wherever you go. This isn't something you can walk away from because it's you fighting with yourself. And essentially, what has to be done is owning and ownership of that thing that you are ashamed of, and actually looking at it, like looking at it. Okay, I need to understand this a little bit deeper. I'm not going to understand it a little bit deeper. Yes, I am. Hold on. Aquarius. I need to know how to guide them, God. How do I guide them? Your commitment is being tested. Maybe you felt like this was a situation of ride or die. I have to prove that I am loyal. And the way that I prove that I'm loyal is through this, you know, and ultimately, but it was too much. It was giving up too much of who you were to prove to somebody else that you were going to be loyal. But ultimately, what if you don't believe in the situation that you were loyal to? You did it just to have the title, but I was loyal. Okay, great, but that doesn't feel as good as, but I was loyal to my heart. But I did the right thing. And there's just so much chaos now. It's getting heavy. It's getting so heavy. And ultimately what has to happen is you have to speak it out loud. You have to liberate yourself. Like, think of the canary. You have to liberate yourself by admitting it, by confessing it, as public as you need, but it has to come out. And it has to come out of your mouth. Aquarius. Or this is somebody that you're dealing with. You could definitely reverse these energies, and somebody just needs to get something off of their chest because for a long time they just they couldn't tell you, they couldn't talk about it. Could have something to do with your family. Fourth house energy, the family that you come from, your mother, father, grandparents, stuff like that. Could also have to do, I don't think it has to do with your children, though if you have children, they are a pressure point because every time you look at them, you feel they deserve better. I can't lie about this anymore. And I don't think it directly affects them other than how it affects you. It's how you're feeling right now about who you are that is making it seem like being around the people you love the most is a little bit harder. Or do you see somebody reacting this way or being this way? It could be that, right? It could also be that you're deciding to go home or go to a place that you consider home because that's where you want to convalesce and relax. To get your head on straight and get out of the chaos. A place where you don't have to pretend and you know people love even your shadow side. What do you want me to tell Aquarius, though? Like, this is a discussion, but guidance, please. Guidance. Unconditional love is in the past. And it's in reverse. And that comes, that is basically telling the story of somebody who does not love themselves completely. Because unconditional love was denied to you. In other words, there was conditions put on love that put you in a position of having to do something that you are now ashamed of in order to prove that you cared. And ultimately, it's wearing on the way you even feel about that person that you were in the situation with that made you prove yourself. It's starting to make you realize, hey, this isn't who I want to be or who I want to be around. I would never treat anybody like this. This is shady shit. And ultimately, you are correct. And there's this sentiment of, it's time for me to leave. It's time for me to move on. I want to be out of this situation because I'm not at rest when they're around. Maybe they keep nagging you. They keep demanding more. Ultimately, the only way you end this is not walking away. It's by speaking your truth. That's the way to liberation. Think of that canary card, right? There's something about this partnership that was hidden and had to be suppressed in order for the partnership to continue. But that just means that this partnership really was never meant to be. And Spirit is seeing it all. It's like, how much glue can you put on this situation? I'm going to go to tarot. I hope you come with me. The link is below. I'll see you there.